This gets asked a lot. How do I scale my accounting practice? How do I grow it? And it's quite easy. Most people do the easy one. Is what do? They increase revenue and bring on people. And that's basically what they do. But here's the interesting thing is when you go to different levels of growing your practice, you require a different model. And the biggest thing that we end up getting stuck with, and what happens in a lot of growth models, is we hit the capacity level of that type of model and we push it to its extremes and it starts to fail. And some of the key components when a model is failing is, one is revenue's going up, but profits don't go up. Two, I'm working 3 times as much for less money. 3, I'm struggling to keep customer care or customer service at the same level that I had before. I'm having trouble hiring the right people. So basically, that whole point is a growth issue and it's a scaling issue, but it's a business model component. So what you have to do is look at the different types of models. And I'm going to give you just a basic knowledge of the models. The first model is basically self-proprietor or on your own. And that model means you do everything yourself and you might have 1 assistant and 1 staff or 2. And that means you're the hub, you're the center of it, you're everything to the customer, and you're servicing the customer 100%. When that model gets to its upper limit, and usually, and I'm going to do it by dollars, it could be different, but usually around $300,000 to $500,000 in revenue, you've maxed that model out based on your capacity and so forth. Now, depending on the type of services, if you have premium services, it might be a little higher. But at the end of the day, that's the most. The next level is what I call the E-band scalable model, which means that what happens is you're no longer the hub. What you do is you bring in key people into the system where then they become the hub. It's not the systems and processes necessary, but they are the hub, right? And what you do is you build those people, which allows you to pull out. The risk with these ones is, again, you can only put so many key people in, and that also maxes out. Now, that max out could be at a much higher rate. I've seen it go up to $2 or $3 million, right? However, here's the problem with that one, is if, let's say you're at $1 million, which is a much smaller one, you usually tend to have 1 key person. When you're at 2 or 3 million, you tend to have 2 or 3. Now, at 1 key person, the problem is when that person leaves, they take the model with them. So there's a very disruptive component, and it's not very secure for your perspective to continue to grow. It's a good midterm, but it has its own limitations. And the issue with that is either you make these people partners or make them owners, and sometimes that brings its own problems. So that's another scalability, and you can scale at that level. The final one, which is the one that actually continues to scale and grow, is where you put in systems and processes that allow expertise and knowledge of the individual to accelerate and advance, and what I call a revolving door. You have an escalator for people to continuously move through the system, and some may park and stay a while, but at the end of the day, it's designed for people to advance and leave, or advance and build and become another owner, right? That's the best model, right? But you would have to go through these stages. So yes, it's scalable, and you can stop at any level, but those are the 3 models that I would say that you would have to look at and adapt.